Alright, so I've cut the first support. We have the, see where the corner connects here, that support is already cut. So we got to cut this support here. Same as the other end, at the end of the 15 inch. So I got to trim off. We got to measure it at 6.5 inches. So I'll leave a 1/4 inch on each side of the track going through here. And then we'll cut this other piece. I already measured that. It's 1 inch and 3/4 or something like that. Anyways, I'll go measure again. I always got to measure twice, cut once. Actually, if we measure 6 inches, 6.5 inches back from that, we might even actually have the right height off the offcut to make this piece. I'm pretty sure I did on the other end, same thing, because the offcut, when I measured the 6 inches, comes right out at 2 inches. So we'll get rid of that, and then we'll have our 2 pieces there. Already have the 1/4 inch plywood pre-cut to mount this track to. Power top, well, not quite like the one down there is a little higher. This is a little lower to the track. So, and again, when I'm thinking about this stuff, it's kind of, we all need to replace it every once in a while, I guess. So we could figure out how to take it apart, or even that, I might have to lean this piece of wood down as I'm threading it through the holes underneath, because it's only going to be, well, 2 inches up here. That might get in the way, but these are all removable too. Just 1 by 2. Let's unscrew. They're all screwed up from the bottom, so you unscrew that. I'll get that out of the way. That might help. The support's 18 inches up. So at this end, I figured, well, a 15 inch piece and a 6 inch piece, we're halfway through there. So that's 18 inches up. 18 and 9. 18 and 27. 18, 27. Well, I have the 2 on the other end. I have the 2 6 inches back to back, but for whatever reason, I put the 6 inches down here. I think to more or less make the 15 feet. I think. I don't know. Getting old, can't remember. Again, this piece here. See how far out that goes. There, we'll probably have to trim some off. I know I trimmed on the other end. On the other end back there, so we got 6.5. Maybe I should trim this back to the 6.5 too. And then we're not. Actually, see, there's plywood. I don't know if you watched the other video there when I made this brace, but this Stonehenge park section is up a 1/4 inch. I know my racing friend Dominic said, how come the cars wipe out coming off this corner down here? I said, well, the corner drops away. Kind of a, so when you're coming off that zigzag there, you're actually, with your rear end's already loose, you're super loose because the front end just dropped too. That's part of the fun of the track. Race your lane. Started putting things away. I found the Nomad body. Slap that 1.5 mega G plus chassis underneath it. Well, what I noticed too, if I put this yellow one, I've glued, the hood scoop fell out and the front bumper was falling off, so I've glued that back on. But a Tomy Turbo, or the AFX that actually came in, it's super tight, but the seems to be pretty good on a Tomy Turbo chassis and Magna traction, but on the new Mega G Plus one with the adapter thing, the adapter thing's not wide enough. It's like very sloppy enough to have the body fly off when you stop. This one has broken tabs, but it's still, well, it's a little loose, but we're running, just a running mid. Oh, we're in the middle of construction zone. Hard not to get sidetracked out here. Terrible. I've unplugged these are just the end cords off power bars that are mounted underneath the table. Everything plugs into the power bars, and those two plugs plug into the wall. So that's disconnected. Oh, there's a square. I unplugged it because we'll have to undo this power tap underneath the table. We'll mount these pieces. They were just mounted with those little L clamps and screws. I'm still procrastinating on that one. But actually I did, just to show you. So that's a 1/2 inch dowel, and that's the hole, I believe, that's in that back post with the 8 wires jammed through it. So that post goes down in 1/4 inch into there and 1/4 inch up into there. I think that makes that other 1/2 inch. So this is actually the right post. So if I ever need a new one, I've cleaned off the space for when I disassemble this truck. I need a spot to put that corner, so the work table's got a somewhat cleaned off spot here. Actually, I was thinking of how I already have these braces. Once it's off, if it's off the table there, I'll screw those in to get that part done. Elevating this section of track and redoing the power tap. Here we go. I don't know if there's any capacitors in there, but we'll give that about 16 seconds. I don't know if you ever touch you think it's off, but it touched the top of a capacitor, you'll know it's still got juice. Alright, we'll get this controller out of the way. Oh, there's a piece of fence that needs to be glued back on. You can see on this corner, well, they're more evenly spaced than I did on the first corner I made. So, hopefully this will be better. There's my mark. Oh, the old grandstand from the other truck. Alright, so this is the power tap track. I'll take these 15 inches out to, I'll have to take pretty much everything back to this corner, I believe, to zoom out there to give you an idea where we are. Off the bank corner into the hairpin. So we'll take these tracks out. So as you can see, these 6-inch pieces are wired through the table. So what we have to do, I'm going to put these bracket mounts in here, more or less. Once we measure that up, so those holes there will mirror those holes coming up through this board. Like I said, I knew I was going to have to well, we might have to disassemble all this fence right here. Not a big deal. There we go. Once we mount it up, we can probably just glue that right back on. You gotta remember on all these things, I see things on the internet, they look fantastic, but how much money are these people spending on that stuff? It is, oh cheapo method. But when I move this brace piece that I made off the side, the 16 inches is marked on the other side too. We'll make a couple, I'll measure in 16 inches further in too to make sure this is square. Well, I did 3 marks, so when we do line that up, it'll be square off that line. Reach there. Reach there. All right. Procrastinating getting under this table, so I'll undo these wires, but that'll be there. So I just try to get a visual how this is going to look through here. Figure there's going to be a fence up along there. Not be much space in between that, but there's, I guess there's a ½ an inch in between the 2 tracks there. So, oh, some scenery element ideas going. Moving stuff. There's the original air filter out of my InGen PF 5060P on the Magnum. So I've got the wires disconnected underneath and the screws tightened back down. I might need to move this out of the way, but for right now we're just doing the supports. I'll go measure for the little wee one down here. There. 3/8 up the middle. Once I screwed into those braces, the shape of the track. I know on the other track I had found if you screw the track to the plywood and then twist the plywood, you could get like a more realistic shape of the road. Like it curves up and down, twisted sideways as long as it's mounted and the track's screwed to it. It's never lost its shape. Keep there. I can see the hole down, holes underneath. We'll line it up. Just checking to make sure I press record, or I'm down here talking to myself. Line of sight here. Alright, so through the line where the holes are going to be drilled. I'm going to trim the excess off this, but as you can see, I just measured there. I think I could actually make a bridge section out of this piece. Put that over there. Measure this down here. Well, let's not get ahead too far, and we will mount this one's pretty tiny, so go as far as up as we can on the side. Okie dokie. So we will take this, cut there, extra 1/4 inch. These pieces were just scrap pieces. I know I trimmed them down size, but we're close. 3 inches off of this, so that'll make that 3 1/4. So, any difference there too is going to make them not exactly the same in here, which is good, but similar enough. They both look like the Allen ramps. We got to do the brace things on that bracket that I had built. You might have to trim this down a bit too. I don't know. Like I said, I think I mentioned that on another video. Maybe with the brackets here. I think I have raised the height to it, but now, as it sits right now, it's back down to pretty much where it was when I set it up. So it's down lower. I remember it used to be 4 inches off the table at the bottom of the bank corner. So now it's at 4.5. So I might have to take like 3 inches off that. Get this power tap back on too, because running laps is the most important thing. Crud there. This sits alright, like I said. I knew I might have to smash all this out. I'm pretty sure there's a piece of plywood right here, so I don't think I can get rid of that because it's screwed in and filled in with plaster, but we can get rid of everything that's in the way. Before there, a piece of that fence. Bust it out. Think about doing everything in wood. A little dab of glue will do ya. So I've chipped out some more plaster here just to kind of clean that up. I think I'm going to run that little sander down there. I'm going to cut 2.5 inches off the top of this. I know the angle is still the same. We did that. Well, should make it all the same height as that. Still rocking out in the park. Maybe they better go to their next tour stop down at the drive-in. 3 parallelograms today. So I trimmed this brace piece that I built there to match the other end. We'll screw the pieces back on. We'll mount it to the table over there. And we'll get back to making this ramp. Here's where it gets tricky. We're not going to need as much temporary support to elevate that now. But I'm looking here too, now that I'm giving a closer look, I have to trim some of this off. So, all right. There, now we have a lot of, all kinds of room. I'm going to trim this corner off too, because I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, all right, so right there. So that corner comes, that might be in the way of measuring to actually do the post once everything's in place. We'll trim it back again. Screws. Putting more than I actually need up here. Wish me luck. Oh. Fantabulous. Oh. So the camera battery died there, so I got a little bit of a charge back into it now, just so we don't get out of sequence here. I've drilled and countersunk the holes. I started screwing this one first and bent this down. I mean, like, I had to push to get that in there. And it is right there. We're about to do that. I happen to have, when I redid the other one, I kept this piece just in case. There's a template for the power tap. Just laid it on this piece, marked it, drilled all the holes, and so this is the on-ramp so far. I'm gonna drill, countersink those screw holes here to hold that down to there, and on the end here, and then we'll be back into the corner. We'll thread the power tap through there, and everything's going to be awesome. Look at pick garage is actually going to sit there. These guys here, I'm going to cut them off of this base. Still use all that kind of scenery stuff, but we'll just cut it off and put it right down onto the pavement. You can see we have it somewhat marked in as pit stalls. So I've countersunk the holes over on the drill press. They're all the same. Hopefully I did it deep enough. Yes. So we'll get this piece screwed on here and in place. And then we have to just get it screwed on. We'll have to unscrew it and do the power tap back. But on ramp, 30 inches, 30, 12, 42 inches long, this on ramp section. So it's almost 4 feet of track just to go into the corner. Okay. So, you know, as long as that butted against that, that's going to be fine. Actually, I'm just going to use one screw in each section. We have to thread the wires through here, flip this up this way, kind of thread them down through those holes, and rewire it up, and we'll be back in business. It's going to be awesome. Making sure we have it the right orientation there. Thread it through this side first. I always like, if you notice, show that, we have the power tap onto the rail, but the wires run a little bit under the track before they go down through the hole. Just when you pull on the wire, you actually pull the tension on there, but you're not pulling straight down on it. Next one. Without losing this one. Pull one of these off right now. I'm going to twist that a little bit. I'm just going to put a couple track screws in those pieces of track. So I offset it so it's not going to be in the same spot. Where they are actually going to be. So we nearly need one screw. Alright, so there, now the track isn't flopping around. They're all tight under the table now. The tracks back together here. Alright, so now we have, say, the basis of the next bank corner build. Oh, signing up for another, I have a bunch of pieces painted, but I say signing up for another 3 months of painting little sticks. I have a big grin on my face right now because there's the bank corner on this end. You go through the park area, down the back straightaway that's underneath the bridge. Hey, down Lakeshore Boulevard, just humming on her. Come back around the pit area. Like I said, I was working on that pit garage. It's all wired up. I gotta print some, say, details like the exit signs and that, but the exit signs will light up. Anyways, down here, through the, there'll be a pavilion area in here. Down around the long sweeping turn, we'll say, by the drive-in, up and around into the first bank corner, down a 16-foot straightaway, into another bank corner. And as I told Dominic, everybody has to let up coming down this straightaway into this, say, kind of chicane hairpin, and then back around the park area. So, yay! Say, I just did some squeezing, we'll say. Hard to do it with, but like I said, once we bring this down to where it's supposed to be, we'll screw it into place. You see this track here is bulging. That means I'm gonna regain my gap that I have at the other end. Like I said, when we were fiddling and fussing there, all this back straightaway, it used to be all screwed down on the top there. But instead of screwing and unscrewing, I just left it where it was while we were figuring this out. So this is going to be, I'm saying with a big smile on my face right now, this track is going to be awesome. 3 months, 6 months of painting little sticks is well worth it. It's going to be awesome. If you enjoy my slot car videos, please smash that like button, share my videos, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll have more slot car videos coming for you shortly.